This video is going to look at how to solve or find the nth term for a sequence of numbers. In this sequence we're looking at these numbers here. We're going to be looking at this question and this question. So what is the next number in the sequence and what would be the 100th term in this sequence? So first of all, the nth term, what's meant by this? Well, simply put, nth means any of these. So this could be the nth term, this could be the nth term, this could be the nth term. Basically, we want to work out a rule to be able to calculate any number in this sequence. And that number in the sequence refers to its place in the sequence. So, for instance, you can number these ones, like so. So, in terms of our eventual calculation, this is position 1, so 1, the number is 3. In position 2, the number is 5. So we could look for the 100th one. So in number 100, what will that number be? That's what this question is asking. And what this one is asking is really what is going to be number 6. So the way to do this is to look for a pattern, a correlation between this number and this number. So at the moment we've got 3 in position 1. So what do I have to do to 1 to get an answer of 3? Well, I could times it by 3. So if I write out the 3 times table underneath, I can see if my nth term will be 3n or just the basic 3 times table. So here we have 3n, which is 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15, and it goes on. But as you can see, 5 is less than 6, so it can't be 3n because if I had to take away something, so 3n take away something to get each one, that would also affect this one, so it can't be right. So that means it's going to have to be less than that, because my starting point's right, but then it gets further and further away as we go on. So what I'm going to look at now is 2n. So as you can see here, I've now got 2n. We said 3n didn't work, but 2n, this looks like it might have a chance at working, because we've got 2 is less than 3, 4 is less than 5, 6 is less than 7, 8 is less than 9, and 10 is less than 11. So at the moment, 2n is looking like it could work. But we're not quite there yet, because so far, 1 times 2 is 2, but I'm not at 3, and I need to be at 3. 2 times 2 is 4, but I need to be at 5. And if you notice, the pattern is this. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1. So the way we'd write that is we'd express it as an nth term. The nth term would be 2n, because that is our times table that we're using first, plus 1. And this here, that's our nth term for this sequence of numbers. Because when we apply this, we say, right, 2 times n, so 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Then we do 2n plus 1, 2 times n, so 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then we do 2 times 3, 6, plus 1 is 7. So that is our nth term for the sequence of numbers. Now, to work out the next one, obviously, our position is 6, so we would do 2 times 6 and then add the 1. So 2 times 6, 12, plus the 1, 13 would be our next number in the sequence. And the 100th term, well, we do 100 times the 2, because that's 2n, so 100 times 2 is 200 plus 1, and our answer would be 201. And that's finding the nth term and the 2 different types of questions that you would be likely to be asked about it. So you've got your sequence. First job, number them. Then look for your pattern with the multiplications. So in this case, we found it was 2n. We tried 3n, it didn't work. And then we have to add on. You could also do a takeaway one where it would work exactly the same, but you do a takeaway here. Okay? And then you can use it to find these 2 questions. So let's have a go at another one now. So here is our new sequence of numbers. First job is we're going to number them. Now then, we need to look for our nth term. Again, the first starting place would be 5n, because 5 times 1 would be 5n, but that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And as you can see, we're running away with ourselves. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's not going to help us. So we'll go one less than that. We'll try 4n. Okay, so we can write out 4n. And as you can see here, 4n started looking promising, but then it caught up and it's carried away with itself again. So 4n doesn't work either. So now we'll go down one more and try 3n. And this time we can see that although we're obviously a lot less each time, we've not caught up, we've not overtaken it, and we seem to be staying the same sort of distance away from it. So now we need to think, what is the regular distance? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're adding 2 each time. So that tells us that we need to do 3n as a starting point, but we also need to add 2 each time. So 3 add 2 is 5, 6 add 2 is 8, 9 add 2 is 11, 12 add 2 is 14, and 15 add 2 is 17. So our nth term for this sequence would be 3n plus 2. That's our nth term. And we can work out the next one in the sequence, because we'd do the sixth one would be 6 times 3, which is 18, plus the 2, which is 20. So the next number in our sequence would be 20. And the 100th number, you'd do 100 times 3, which is 300, and add the 2. So that would be number 100 for this sequence. I hope that's helpful. Try coming up with some sequences yourself. The easiest thing to do is to start with writing an nth term like this, and then try and work out the sequence from there.